Hello YouTube world, Mac Daddy 1911A1 here with the Shade Tree Survivalist. Gonna do a video right quick on all my gear. You can see I've got my A.L.I.C.E rig on, my belt order, as well as my large A.L.I.C.E pack and sleeping bag. Combination of these without the rifle would be around 70 pounds. So we're talking pretty damn heavy. That's almost exactly half my weight. Weighed myself last night. Damn it, I've gained some weight. I'm 151 pounds. Don't look like I really gained it back in my stomach. I've gained a little bit, but 10 pounds is a lot of freaking weight. So I'm thinking that my exercise regime, pushing the lawnmower up and down these freaking hills, a push mower versus riding around on my ass on a riding lawnmower is starting to work. I've also been working up my upper body a little bit because of the weighted rifle. I don't want to be straining when I'm out here aiming. And yesterday I started a new exercise regime with the push mower. I wore my A.L.I.C.E gear, which weighs about 31 pounds, and my 1911, let's see if the camera can see it, on my, well, hell, I left it on the porch just now. I was working on my gear. But my 1911, all my ammunition, water, fanny pack, MREs, tools, knife, everything. And I pushed the entire backyard with it. And brother, you talking about a damn burn now, but that's good. The way I see it is if you can integrate your strength training, your stamina training into your you know, a good cardiovascular workout into a chore that you have to do every week and make yourself do that, you're going to be a whole lot better off. Got a request to do a video on the A.L.I.C.E pack. Now this is a large. It's got the 3 large external pockets as well as the 3 small external pockets on it. I'll roll in some video with this one, or maybe I'll just make it a separate one. I'll make my mind up a little later on the contents that I've got in it. Yesterday I culled a lot. I took about 11 pounds off the weight of everything because it was around 96 pounds, and I've got it down with the pouches and all. I got it down to a grand total of 86, and that includes old Betsy, my M1A, in the EBR chassis, because she's about 16 pounds now. She's a lard ass. But that's all right, and that's okay because I got the firepower and I've got the you know, I can adjust everything. But you can see how it's integrated. Got the belt order on, canteen, so forth, and I got the backpack on. And I'm out here on this hill, so if I'm wobbling a little bit, it's because I'm not on flat ground and I'm trying not to lose my damn balance in my freaking house shoes of all things. There you go, come on. About to get ready to go to work, but I wanted to do this video. A lot of people don't like the military packs because, you know, for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe the civilian packs have a lot of advantages, but there's a couple of advantages that military packs have that civilian packs may or may not have, and this may be something you don't even know about. But over here on the right hand side on most military packs, and well, matter of fact, both straps, but I'm gonna just always use the right hand side so it doesn't interfere when I take it off with the handgun. But there's a snap here, and you jerk this sucker out, and there goes the strap, you see? And then you can just toss it right off the side and onto the ground. Then you're rid of it. Okay, so if you're humping your butt off and you're walking from point A to point B and you got your rifle and your ammunition and, you know, everything you need in your backpack to sustain life and continue with the fight, you run into a patrol from the enemy or air attack, whatever, you've got to get rid of that weight now. I mean, right now you don't have time. Now I understand back in the early 80s, the British had the pattern 1958 load-bearing equipment, and it was a backpack, belt order, shoulder straps, I mean everything you need, in trenching tool, bayonet, ammunition, rifle, the whole 9 yards. They're what they call the SLR, which is the Fabrique Nationale FAL, FAL. But they said to get the backpack off, the 1958 Bergen, that they had, it would take a good 10 minutes to drop that sucker. All right, you saw what happened with the A.L.I.C.E pack. Now the A.L.I.C.E pack, the large and the medium, and they came about during the Vietnam War, I think, and where they would run into the Viet Cong at any second. They needed to get rid of that damn weight. They needed to get it off their back so that they can continue the fight. That is the #1 advantage to a military backpack. You got, or at least American military backpack. I don't know about anyone else's. I don't have the time to be wasting looking through all that crap. But you can drop that sucker just like that. All right, if you damage the straps on this thing, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get behind the camera, zoom in this little doohickey so you can see what I'm talking about, and then walk over here. If you damage these things, there's nothing to replacing them. I mean, they just come right off on the top here, both sides. Now this one here, I just realized that the end of it's broken. That still locks, but I'm going to replace this damn strap because of this here. If I can get just the bottom portion, fine. But this piece right here needs to be replaced. As long as it's still holding, it's fine for now, but that's not going to cut it in a combat scenario. But anywho, let me show you how this thing works. You got a loop here and you got a loop here. Just stick it through like this here, okay? Well, crap. I can't see what I'm doing because I didn't turn my viewfinder around. Let me see. And here we go. All right, let me zoom in just a tad. And rotate my camera down a tad. I'm sorry about all the movement, folks. Like I said, I'm always saying I do not have a camera person to help me most of the time. Kimmo's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing. All right, you got a loop here. Let's see if I can get my skin behind it so you can see it right here. And then on the padded portion, you've got another small loop right here. And all you got to do is you stand this one up straight, put it through that one. Then you've got this little piece here, the prong piece. You slip it down through there, and that's what holds it. Then you just snap this keeper down. And then if you have to drop the pack, you just pull it, and it snaps right apart, no problem. So let's put that thing back together. That is just one of the many advantages of a military pack over a civilian pack. The coloration, of course, in a combat zone is also very helpful. The other side is the exact same way, but there is a left side and there is a right side. So if you need a replacement, make sure you order the correct one so that it'll work right. All right, bug, get off of me. I don't like the way you look. You look horrendous. So that's one of the big advantages. Now, the newer packs, they're more comfortable than the A.L.I.C.E pack, but because of the way the belt order is, you've got the fanny pack and so forth, you don't want it down all the way on your hips, and it's just touching the top of the hip bone. I mean my hips and the very lower part of my spine. I would probably have to adjust it some more to really get a comfortable fit over a long haul. Because if your pack is not fit correctly, you are in the hurt locker. That's for damn sure, Jack. All right, let me zoom back out. All right. And you can see how I've got mine set up. I got one canteen external. Now they're saying to put a canteen each side if you're doing that to equal out the weight. But inside the pack on this side, I've got a Texas Sport folding military style folding shovel. Little it's not even really a freaking shovel, but I think it would work okay in a combat situation. And the reason I'm hauling that, digging latrines. Okay, a latrine is an outdoor bathroom, and you want to make sure you dispose of your waste so it does not get into your water supply. You want to dispose of it, your garbage and so forth, so you need to dig a hole. For small holes and stuff like that, your multi-tool, your knife may be okay, but do you really want to take the chance of ruining the blade on a badass combat knife or survival knife digging a freaking hole with it? No, you do not. So for a long-term situation, you would definitely want that thing so you could dig fortifications, fill up sandbags and so forth. Wish I wish I had a Russian spade, okay? Though it's got a solid handle, and it would be, I would really have to do some work to integrate it into it. You can use it as an axe, you can use it as a battle axe, you can use it as a spear, you can use it as a shovel. They're the Russian Special Forces, Spetsnaz. They train extensively in the use of their spade for a weapon system. All right, enough of that. I'm gonna turn the pack this way, and of course it's probably gonna, I'll tell you what, I'll just lay it on its back. How can you tell the difference between a medium and a large A.L.I.C.E pack? Well, let me get the camera off here and I will show you the difference. It's easy. You got 3 large external pouches on the bottom of the pack, and on the large you have 3 external pouches on the top of the backpack. Okay, you have an aluminum frame, a rigid aluminum frame that works really well as far as keeping the actual pack off your back. You have a you can put your fist through the back, or at least my fist, you can put it through the back between your lower back and the backpack frame, and it's designed so that you have airflow through there. That was a freaking great idea. The CFP 90 or CPF 90, whatever it was, the bigger pack I had, it would have hung down below my belt, and I would not have been able to haul as much gear on my belt. It was more designed with the vest, the earlier vest that they came out with, the combat vest, before Molly. But it was designed to integrate with it. But this is designed to integrate with the A.L.I.C.E gear. I'm still working on it. I still have not seen a video that was, or literature on it that would really tell you how to integrate the two and work with this, with both of them. It's, you know, if you have any suggestions, please leave them. Don't dumbass me. Just, you know, if you have a suggestion, you know a little bit more about it than I do, please leave your comments and your suggestions. Another thing about military packs, let me zoom right in. You see that little eyelet right there? You see these in like tarpaulins on? That's to drain water out of the pack. You've got one in each pouch, and you've got 1, 2, 3 or 4, 5, something like that in the bottom of the pack to let water out of it if it gets saturated. You know, if you're crossing a river or whatever, and it drain the water out. So that is a good thing to have on a military pack versus a civilian pack. I've never seen a civilian pack yet with that capability. Also, you've got places on the side that you can use to tie down more equipment, specialized equipment, add canteens, ammo pouches, whatever the case may be. The fanny pack is also the same way. Let me hook my camera back up here. Let's see if I can get over here so you can see it. Okay, you got the fanny pack. As you can see on this side right here, I've already got another M14 mag pouch I've added to it. Okay, and you've got other places you can attach stuff. You've got straps under the bottom for like a shelter half or a poncho, whatever the case may be. The other purpose of this video is going to be on the modifications I've made to my A.L.I.C.E gear since the last video, since the very first video. So I'm going to take it off, and then I'm going to show you what all I've done to it since then. And this was for the viewer, one of my viewers. He told me about it, and believe me, when I see genius at work, I take note. I just thought it was such an awesome idea. But the most obvious, of course, is this new foam rubber. Okay, we all know how Mac Daddy hates freaking plastic, but sometimes you just cannot get away from it. Sometimes you cannot substitute anything else for the types of plastics and all. The military actually has a padded belt liner that you can buy and put on there. I've never seen one ever. So when I saw his video on how to make one out of the OD green foam ground mat that you would put under your sleeping bag to keep you off the cold ground or whatever, the hard ground. I thought, man, that is such an awesome idea. I've got a blue one, a civilian one. Of course, I'm not going to be putting that on the inside of it. It would be impossible to camouflage. So what I did, I had a job, a plumbing job I did. Well, actually, it wasn't even a plumbing job. We did we remodeled a bathroom, and we put in a new shower, and the lady had a lot of rock, real, honest to God, stone that she put into the bathroom. And this was from the packaging that it was shipped to her in. And this padding is about twice the thickness of your sleeping mat if you have a military issue sleeping mat or a civilian one. It added about 4 inches to my waist, so it allows me more room to add stuff because, you know, I've got a 30-inch waist. And the other great thing is you got these A.L.I.C.E, these the keepers, the little hooks, whatever you call it, that attach your pouches, your canteen pouches, your A.L.I.C.E rear fanny pack. It attaches it to the belt. But because I'm a little skinny guy, around my waist, these damn things was digging to my waist. But I always thought, well, you know, that's just part of it. You guys got to tough it out. And I never thought about it until I saw that guy's video. So when I added this, the comfort level is just through the roof, comparatively speaking, to how I had it set up before. The other thing, I don't know if the camera can see it. Let me zoom in on this so you can actually tell what I'm talking about. Is I tied each and every one of them so that they won't back off and come loose. See, each one of them, you can see the string on every one. Well, you can see it a little bit right there. But each one of them are tied so that the clips will not come off. Okay, and in this one here, you can see another addition that I've added to it. I've manufactured some 1911 pistol magazine holsters. Okay, let's see. But you can see them right here. Okay, and right here, and there's another one on the other side. I did a transition video, a live fire video with M1A when Uncle Fester and Lurch were up visiting a couple of weekends ago. I don't even remember what the date was. It all just sort of blends together with the screwed up hours I've got. And it was ridiculous how hard it was to get to my magazines for my 1911. Had to switch the gun from one hand to the other to grab two off the holster. I said, that's enough of that. Something has got to give. So what I did is I just let it mold over, you know, set it aside in my head, just thinking about what can I do without any financial resources. Because once I built Betsy and got her squared away and bought a few other odds and ends, some more ammunition and so forth, I was you know, out of resources. I don't have any more financial resources to deal with it. So I had to make these. I'll roll in some still photographs that I took of the process as I made these, as well as the mag snatches. But basically I just used a plastic detergent jug for your laundry detergent, and I also used a couple of Folgers coffee cans. Drew out a pattern on paper, cut it out, then took the pattern, drew it out, traced it out on the jug I used, folded it, made all the creases and all so it would fit the mag really good. Then I used Gorilla Tape, the non-reflective Gorilla Tape that's more of a fabric. It's not plastic, it's a fabric. And put them together, and you can see they work real well. Now, the only mistake I made is I should have went and used some of the green felt like you see on a pool table. I've got some of it, and I did not think about it when I was putting them together, but they're a little sticky, a little bit sticky to get them out, which is fine for now. But I'll end up rebuilding those. The other thing, I'm going to roll in some still pictures on how I made the mag snatches. Let's see, get my camera up here. But here are the mag snatches. Okay, simple, easy to manufacture, easy to make. Nothing to it. And you see I mean, this is fully loaded magazine with 7.62 times 51 millimeter 308 cartridges. You can see them on the top. Pull them out right into the gun, which in this particular case it would be from here, and you rotate your hand and it would go right into the gun and you can snap it right in. Okay. Another thing is that I have learned, let me make sure my camera's catching all this, and it would not have been, so good deal. When you run dry, instead of doing what I've been doing and dropping the magazines on the ground, you take your empty magazine, you turn it up. So it's up. It doesn't matter which way. So that you can buy fill at night. You can say, okay, there's the feed lips. This one's empty. This one here is loaded because you got the mag snatch, and you pull the next one right out and right into the gun you go. So those are some of the modifications I've made to my gear. Another thing that you may or may not know, when you load your magazines, make sure they're all pointing in the same direction. And practice with it, because the other day on that live fire video, because I had, I had one round in this magazine, or I had 2 or 3 in this magazine. I didn't want to see which ones were which, so it will be a surprise when the bolt locked back on me. That's just part of it, so it doesn't, shock you and you freeze up. Like, well, now what do I do? Well, what I do is drop that mag, grab the next, slap it home. And I didn't look at them. Lurch loaded them for me, and he had them backwards. Or maybe I told him the wrong way and I put them in backwards. But you got to practice with this. So the way I've got them loaded, I pull them out. Bam, you see the bullets are pointing to the front. Just rock them right in the gun. Roll your hand up, slap that bolt release, you're right back in business. Just a few helpful items. Oh, your pistol magazines, you want them to be the same damn way. So when you pull them out, they'll be in the direction you want them. Bullets to the front in your hand, so when you stick them up to the gun, and they'll slap right in. But you need to practice that first. Some people turn them one way, some people turn them the other way, depending on your weapon system. One way will work better than the other way, and like the handgun, it doesn't really matter which way they're pointing. If they're on the belt, and concealed carry, it doesn't matter. But when you're carrying them on the side like this, it does matter which way they're turned. So that's something else you need to think about beforehand. Practice beforehand so that you can do that deal when the time comes. All right, but anywho, I'm gonna make this the end of the video. I hope some way, shape, or form this is helpful on how to do these different things, and maybe gives you more ideas to get your gear up to speed. I will annotate the young man's name, or the person's name that gave me these ideas, because they deserve the credit, not I. I just saw it, I thought it was absolute genius, and therefore I went and did my gear. But this is Mac Daddy 1911A1 with the Shade Tree Survivalist. Thank you very much for watching.